What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel, Just That TV. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe, child. We got some good stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about Gorilla. We're going to talk about this Texas doctor who was having his patients take chemo and they did not need it. We're going to talk about Yandy and her former assistant. We're going to talk about Jaheim and his charges. And yeah, that's about it. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Let me see if I can find my stories before I before I carry on and make sure I have all the information for y'all. Ciao. Make sure I have all the information for y'all. So, I don't know. Y'all already know I'm recovering. You know, we're going to do some logistics, house cleaning. And I'm recovering. My hand is still jacked up. It's gotten a lot better. The swollenness went down. And I could do a little bit more, but I can still only edit with one hand. So I apologize. Anyway, we're going to get on with this show. So let's just start off with the doctor. We're going to talk about the doctor first, okay? We're going to talk about the doctor. The Texas doctor sentenced to 10 years for forcing healthy patients into chemo. Y'all hear that? Healthy patients into chemo. Lying about chronic illnesses just to fund his life of luxury with jets, mansions, and Bentleys. Y'all see the picture? Y'all see the picture. And I'm going to read the story because y'all need to know. If y'all in the Texas area, y'all need to know, child. Y'all need to know. So it says, a Texas doctor just got 10 years in federal prison after living large off a scam that left innocent people sick, traumatized, and bedridden. That's no joke. That chemo is no joke. And it eats away. It burns your cells to death. So to have to be forced to undergo that and you don't have cancer... According to a report by Law and Crime, Dr. George Zamor Quazada lied to patients and told them they had serious diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. Then he put them through painful treatments like chemo, knowing they did not need it. Some were kids. One girl was just 11 when he started pumping her with unnecessary drugs. Now she's bedridden for life. 11. He made over $100 million in fake Medicare and Medicaid claims and spent the money on a private jet, Bentleys, and luxury properties. He was eventually caught after other doctors started speaking up. They noticed patients coming in with severe side effects from treatments they never should have received. When it became clear many of these people had no signs of chronic illness at all, it triggered a federal investigation, which it should have. That's crazy work right there. To do that to an 11-year-old girl. One victim told the court, "I hope you rotten HE double hockey sticks." The feds said he abused his patients just to keep living like a millionaire. Now he'll be spending the next decade in prison. This is what we gotta deal with. You can't even. This is way more than medical malpractice. This is literally a dereliction of duty. Because for you to diagnose your patients, or not even diagnose, lie to your patients and tell them that they are experiencing chronic diseases that they never even had, and you force them to undergo chemo and other things and ingest all of these drugs that were not necessary for them, that is a dereliction of duty as a doctor. This is way past medical malpractice, and I'm just like astonished. I am astonished that he even went as far. I'm just glad that these other doctors kind of like noticed that his patients did not deserve or did not need to undergo these treatments and stuff like that. And they were able to it was able to get caught. But look at the damage that he did to an 11-year-old. Homegirl is bedridden for the rest of her life. She could live for 60 years. 60 more years, I mean. So that means like she'll be 71 and still in bed because just of what this doctor did to her when she was 11. Imagine being her mom and having to live with the fact that, oh, my daughter is bedridden for the rest of her life because of this doctor wanting to live a lifestyle that clearly he did not deserve. Because if you have to put false claims to your patients in order to get paid and from Medicaid, Medicare, and all of that stuff, you don't need to be living that lifestyle. So you did that just for the lifestyle, but that's kind of like messed up. You don't deserve that lifestyle wasn't for you. You should have just led a mediocre life. That's a lot of lives ruined. That's a lot of lives ruined, all because of greed. And that's pretty much what it all stems down to. His greed for money. His greed for money, because there's no other answer for you to sit there and say, misdiagnose these patients. Not even misdiagnose because it was intentional, but for you to have them undergo medication and chemo that they did not need for conditions that they did not have, that is way more than medical malpractice. And you didn't need to live that lifestyle anyway if you couldn't maintain it just from your regular practice, your regular practice visits. But that's what we're dealing with now. Y'all already know how I feel about the medical field. I don't trust them now either. And this is just more confirmation for me not to trust them, because of the fact that I was dealing with my issue for 3 years, and it didn't take. I had to diagnose myself in order for them to find what was really wrong with me. I had to diagnose myself, and I kept telling these doctors and these offices I might as well have taken my state board and became a doctor, because I had to diagnose myself. Anyway, that's just a little rant, a little tangent. I'm a little bit upset. Medical field right now is on my shit list because of the fact that of what happened to me and many other black women in communities and stuff. But this is ridiculous for him to have done that and then not even think twice to do that to a baby. That was 11. That's still a baby. He is not gonna get any good in this life because of what he did. And kids under 13 are God's children by definition. And if you mess with kids under 13 as God's children, you are always gonna end up getting exactly what you deserve. Sorry, I got so deep. But let's move on. Child, let's move on. We're gonna talk about I forgot to mention this in the beginning. We're gonna talk about the inmates that escaped in Louisiana. We're going to talk a little something about the inmates that escaped in Louisiana. Did y'all see that video? I posted it a while ago on my shorts. You should go watch it. Or in another video, I think I did. I posted it, and we discussed the 11 inmates that broke out through a toilet in a Louisiana prison. A lot of them were serving crazy long sentences. At this moment, I think 8 or 9 of them were captured, and 3 was still on the run. But it was so... We're going to discuss. Let me just break down the story, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts, child. Let me break down the story. So the inmates escaped from the prison. Several of them got caught. They said they left notes, but the other people refuted that they left notes, or whatever the case may be. You see that the video shows them running from... I'll play the video, and then we're going to come back and discuss. That's what I'll do. Right, so y'all see the video now. So y'all see them running out of the jail cell through a tunnel or a toilet that they created, like some Shawshank redemption stuff. And I had spoke about this in my other video where if you haven't seen that video, I kind of like broke the whole story down, but this is kind of like a follow-up to that story. So they broke out. A couple of them got caught. It was weird how they got caught. Some of them got caught. One of them was on Instagram talking about, I'm out. That obvious. Another one got caught under a car by a hotel. Like, just the weirdest ways these people got captured. 3 of them kind of like left, but it's a conspiracy theory going on that the majority get captured so one can get away. So if you don't know what that means, it means there was one of the inmates that was with them. His name is Derrick Gloves, right? Now the story about Derrick Gloves is Derrick Gloves' grandmother was having issues with the police. Because she put in a report to the police, and they got a little bit upset, the police in their county, right? Allegedly, one of the police officers came back and pumed her, or set up a pum, however the case may be. But that's what happened with his grandmother. He was young at the time, right? This man, Derrick Gloves, pretty much hunted down that cop's family and was like offing them, right? So he got arrested. He was doing life in prison or something like that. I can't remember how long he was doing in prison. I should have just read that. But yeah, so everybody who kind of like, the conspiracy theory is everybody who kind of like escaped with him was okay with getting caught again, just so that he can get away. So that's pretty much what the story would be. And now the cop who did that to his grandmother, all of his family is scared to death and running and fleeing because they think that he's still going to come after them. I personally don't think that he is in the country, which I hope he ain't, but we'll never know. I'm going to keep an eye on this story because I want to know what happens to him. But then I also want to discuss the fact that the people who escaped with him, they're never going to see the light of day again. Just because of the way they escaped, the fact that it was publicized, and they're going to add so many charges onto them. And then the crazy thing is, a few of them had escaped before. I don't know what y'all doing in Louisiana, but something got to give. But anyway, that's the premise and the breakdown of that story. And I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to see. I'm going to keep a close watch on this story because I do definitely want to see what the outcome is. Yeah. And Derrick Gloves is still one of the ones at large. So that's three of them. I think it's still three at large, and he's one of them. So, the many fall for the few. So let's move right along. We're gonna move right along. We're gonna talk about Jaheim. Let's talk about Jaheim. Because this is a quick one too. Jaheim. We're gonna talk about Jaheim. Jaheim, y'all already know the R&B singer Jaheim had many run-ins with the police. Or even jail, I would say. He has been in and out of the court system since his career passed a long time ago. He was an R&B singer from back in the 90s. He was a great singer. He did great things, but he kind of like fell victim to drugs abuse and stuff like that. So he's been, everybody knows his ups and downs. In 2021, he had also gotten arrested for animal cruelty back then, and now here we are in 2025 that he's getting arrested and charged with the same thing. Allegedly, he was charged with failure to provide adequate food, water, ventilation, and sanitary conditions for his 6 dogs. So that's what he got charged with. And y'all already know they love animals more than they love people. Black people, I should say. But that's neither here nor there. That's a story for another video. Yeah, so 6 dogs got neglected by him, which I don't think animals should get neglected anyway. But, people do it. If you can't afford, take care of, kind of like nurture your animal, I don't think you should have one. But that's neither here nor there. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's how it be sometimes. But that's just my thoughts on the whole situation. I don't think that you should have an animal if you can't take care of it. That's why when I had my dog, after my dog passed away, I didn't get another one. And it wasn't the fact that I couldn't take care of it. I just realized that animals are a lot of maintenance. You gotta walk them, especially if you have a dog. If you don't have a cat, is self-sufficient. But if you have a dog, you gotta walk your dog 3 times a day, sometimes 4, all kind of stuff. So it's a lot of maintenance. And then to have 6 of them, and some people are breeders as well. Some people are breeders and they breed dogs and stuff like that. And that could have been a possibility. That they didn't say that in the story, that if he was a breeder or not. I mean, but at the end of the day, if you can't afford to maintain the dog's lifestyle, don't get them. And we'll hear more about that. He'll probably get off with a fine. But, Fulton County, they're doing things differently now. And he's had a lot of run-ins with Fulton County's police. So I don't know how that's going to work. So let's move on, child. Let's move on. We're gonna talk about Glorilla. So apparently or allegedly, Glorilla's gotten a nose job in her. She answered and was like, and did, and I was just like, oh girl, yes. I mean, the nose job looks fine. If you're not happy with some of the features on you and you want to change it, I don't care. I'm not a fan of the BBL, but if you're not happy with your body or whatever that's going on, I have nothing to do with that. That's on you. Because at the end of the day, I'm not altering my body. It is what it is. But she got a nose job. I think it looks fine. I think she looks fine. If she's been having an issue with that, a lot of people do it, and I'm mad as she did it. Look at allegedly Nene Leakes, even though she said she didn't, but we can see the change. But Cardi B gets online and Cardi B kind of like defends her and says the same thing, because we already know that Cardi B had a couple of surgeries. She came out admitted it a while ago, and she's like, listen, if you're not happy with something, same thing I said, if you're not happy with something, then change it. I'm here for it. It's whatever. You do what you want to do with your body. But she was defending her sister like, girl, get out of here. Like, get out of here. She can do what she want to do, and I ain't mad at her. So here's the picture. Y'all see what she looked like before and after, and we gonna move right along. We gonna talk about Yandy. Child, Yandy Mendices, the whole situation. Yandy stylist gets on this line and had a whole live going on for forever, it seemed like. I don't even think I got the video because I didn't want to get the video. I just took a screenshot of the picture because he was talking a lot, and I was just like, I don't want to add all of this to my video, child. No. But he gets online and says that Yandy was the actual one cheating. He almost got in trouble when they went to Vegas one time. Her treat, saying that she was going to Vegas for business, and she was going there to see a dude, and his dude got mad because he thought that he was cheating, so he had to come and clear it up. All this, that, and the third. Situations with him, because right now on Loving Hip Hop Atlanta, they going back and forth saying who cheated, Mendices, Yandy, whatever the case may be. So that's why this story came out, because right now they discussing that on Loving Hip Hop Atlanta. Who's cheating? Who's the worst husband? All this and that, and that's kind of like the situation. And I'm just like, nah, I don't really care who cheated on who, if they really married or not. I think that's all irrelevant, and I don't care. I really honestly don't care. I just brought the story to y'all to bring it to y'all, but I don't really care about that story. I don't care about Yandy and I don't really care. But y'all drop that in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. If y'all watch that video with Yandy and her with the hairstylist airing her out, y'all tell me what y'all think about the doctor. Do y'all like Glorilla's nose change? I don't know. What y'all think gonna happen to Jaheim in the next 4 years? 2 years to be exact, because every 4 years he in trouble, child. Drop that in the comments and let me know what y'all think about all of that stuff that I talked about in this video today. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.